Okay. Good afternoon. Wanted to jump on for a little bit. Oh, I forgot to close captions. Wanted to jump on for a little bit to talk about this missing girl. The controversial story I was talking about earlier, I still have it on my back pocket. I guess I still want to cover it. I have just a couple things I'm trying to handle. But this case is blowing up because of some recent developments, massive search that's going on. But this case started back in the year 2000, which is crazy. Asha. 25 years later, developments. Because when I saw this name, I was like, I know I've seen this name somewhere before. And it's all in the news again. And so she was a 9-year-old girl from Shelby, North Carolina. And it said that she was bright, shy, loved by family. And she vanished on Valentine's Day in the year 2000. At around 2:30 a.m. in the morning, she left her home in the middle of a stormy night with no explanation, no note, no clear reason why. She was last seen walking along Highway 18 by two motorists, then nothing. So early on in the beginning, some of the things that had turned up. So Asha's backpack with personal items and a Tweety Bird book bag was found buried in a plastic bag a year later in 2001 near a construction site in Burke County, 26 miles from where she was last seen. Okay. She had no known online activity or access. No one saw her leave except these two drivers. The FBI later made some sketches of two books found in her bag. I have some video clips I'm going to play. Some recent ones, some old ones, some pictures. And so while we here in 2025, right, there's been some breaking developments, like 25 years later. Okay. Law enforcement agencies searched several properties in Lincoln County, North Carolina. These searches involved the FBI, the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office, SBI, and Lincoln County deputies. They recovered a green 1960s model car from the property of Roy Lee Deadman, matching the type of vehicle witnesses claim they saw Asha get into the night she disappeared. So they're saying supposedly she got in a vehicle. DNA analysis, testing of her backpack led to potential persons of interest being identified. Plus these text messages, which we're going to get into. Okay, we're going to get into text messages, exchanges between the Deadman's family members after the property was searched. And even a polygraph test, because even one of Deadman's daughters even took a polygraph test, which showed deception when asked if she was hiding information about Asha's disappearance. These text messages, just briefly, I feel so horrible, so horrible, I don't know what to do. I caused this. The theory is I did it, accident, covered it up. So these text messages were revealed. We'll go more into that. And so the authorities are suspecting foul play and possible concealment of Asha's body. She may have been lured or taken under false pretenses. Some evidence suggests those involved may have panicked and covered it up. And Asha's family, especially her mother, Asha Degree, has never stopped searching for her. So the Deadman family is like supposedly the focal point of this investigation of her disappearance. And so the family is Roy Lee Deadman, his wife, Connie Elliott Deadman, and their three daughters. So Lizzie Grace Deadman, foster. She's the eldest daughter who was 16 at the time of Asha's disappearance and currently resides in Texas. Sarah Gwen Deadman Capel, the middle daughter who was 15 in 2000 and currently lives in Shelby, North Carolina. And Anna Lee Victoria Deadman Ramirez, the youngest daughter who was 13 at the time, now resides in Charlotte. So in September 2024, law enforcement executed search warrants at properties owned by the Deadman family, including their residence on Cherryville Road. During these searches, a green 1964 AMC Rambler was seized, resembling the vehicle witnesses reported seeing Asha enter on the night she vanished. Further investigation revealed that DNA evidence from the items found in Asha's backpack that were discovered in 2001 matched profiles of Anna Lee Victoria Dedman Ramirez and Russell Underhill, a former patient at a nursing facility operated by the Dedmans. So that's freaking weird. I don't know why that patient's thing is there. And Anna Lee is one of the youngest daughters. So why is there DNA on this backpack? And then the text messages, what we're going to get into. So far, no formal charges have been filed against the Dedman family, but it seems like there's something there that they know. Now, Asha did not live with this Dedman family. She resided with her own family in Shelby, North Carolina. And let's see here. They got the recorded vehicle, the DNA evidence, the text messages. The Dedman family resides in various locations in North Carolina. And, okay, so let's get to some of these video clips, text messages. Really, really just bizarre story. Like, what does this family know? Okay. This is Cleveland County later reported Friday morning that they're assisting the Licking County and state investigators with a search of several buildings at a property near North Carolina 182 and NC 274 intersect. Right, massive search is going on from a 25-year-old case. Investigators link local family linked to case. What kind of, how would anybody be able to conceal something like this? The spelling of the name of the family, it's right here. It's Dedmons. Okay. So they've executed search warrants in February, and a series of search warrants carried out in September 2024 appear to link the Dedmans, originally a Cleveland County family, with her disappearance. This is weird. How does this happen? How can multiple people conceal possible knowledge about a missing girl? September court documents revealed the first time that investigators believed Degree was actually killed and that her body was concealed. Investigators think the Dedmans may have played a role in Degree's possible homicide. In 2024, the search warrants named the Dedman family, including Roy, like I said, Connie, the wife, and the 3 daughters. The search warrants were requested after DNA samples linked Degree with Roy Dedman's daughter, Anna Lee, and a man named Russell Underhill. Who the hell is this Russell guy? According to court documents, Underhill does not appear to be related to the family, but was associated with them. And like I said, supposed to be this person, I believe, let me check over here, it was like a patient at this nursing facility that the family owned. Really, really weird. February search warrants focus on sister's father. This was 2025, February 13. Probable cause to believe that cell phones belonging to Roy and his 2 daughters, Lizzie Foster, formerly known as Lizzie Dedman, maybe I guess she got married, and Sarah Kappel, formerly known as Sarah Dedman, may contain evidence identifying and linking victims, suspect, and possible witnesses to crimes of felony obstruction. Probable cause is a requirement for a search warrant. It did not appear that the 2 now women or their father had been arrested or charged with any such crime. Court documents from 2024 and now 2025 show that investigators think Roy's daughters were responsible or involved in the disappearance because Foster and Kappel were ages 16 and 15 at the time, respectively. Investigators believe adult assistance from their parents would have been necessary in the execution or concealment of the crime. Because imagine, like, this is a family affair, right? A family affair. Did something happen? Did something go wrong? Man claims he heard Foster admit fault. This is the missing reward for $45,000. Foster, then known as Lizzie Dedman, was 16 years old when Degree went missing in 2000. Her sister, Sarah Kappel, known then as Sarah Dedman, was 15 at the time. The week after law enforcement searched the Dedman's properties in 2024 September, a man went to the sheriff's office for an interview with investigators, and he said that he occasionally went to bars and house parties with the 3 Dedman girls in the mid-2000s. The man told officers that one time he was at a house party with Foster and Kappel. The man said he saw Foster visibly upset and intoxicated. So that's the daughter. He said at one point, Foster said, "I killed Asha." The man reported that Campbell then became stern and told Foster to shut the F up. I wonder if there's some weird stuff happened and they killed this little girl. Why did this little girl, 9 years old, run away? Did she run away? Like, how did she leave the house? Or was she lured online? How? The man later told investigators that Campbell's behavior caught him off guard that night since he had normally seen her be calm and nice. Later, the man told investigators that he was confident in his memory, that he was 100% positive of those moments. The man was later given a polygraph test, and based on the information provided, the polygraphs are not admissible. The man was said to have passed, but the family is said to have failed on this polygraph. Foster deceptive on lie detector test. Lizzie Foster was contacted by investigators February 10th and asked to take a polygraph test. As part of the lie detector test, Foster was asked whether she was concealing information and was found to be deceptive, according to the February 2025 warrants. Following an interview, Warren said Foster called her ex-husband and talked to him for more than 45 minutes. Warren said the ex-husband has been uncooperative. How many people could lie and conceal some shit about a 9-year-old girl at the time? Death and disappearance. Asha Degree case. Over a year after Degree went missing, her backpack was discovered in Burke County, more than 30 miles from where she was last reportedly seen. That's a long way. 30 miles. The girl's belongings were wrapped in 2 sealed black plastic garbage bags and were found along the highway. And court documents read in 2024. 2 of the items in the backpack returned evidentiary results linking DNA to Anna Dedman Ramirez and a man named Russell Underhill. Degree's backpack contained some clothing and a book, which investigators said did not belong to Degree. So why was somebody else's, looks like a kid's clothes or books or whatever, in the backpack as well? What happened? And according to a DNA sample of a hair stem taken from the shirt in the backpack appeared to match Dedman Ramirez's DNA. So I know this family's got to be freaking out. They're calling each other. They're freaking out. This case is breaking. They probably thought maybe they got away with it. And let's talk about the text messages, because I told you guys I was going to bring the text messages. Let's pause for a second. Let me just send an email out. If you guys could help me out, the like button, please share the story. Hit the like button, spread it out. We only have 192 likes and 700 people in here. We can get some more likes. And I'm working on the like I said earlier, the gaming channel, so I can keep that stuff separate. It says that I can't stream for 24 hours though, so I have to wait on, I guess, till tomorrow to be able to put out the channel and whatever. So I'm working on that. I have to. It makes me wait a full 24 hours. But yeah, very bizarre case. I'm glad that the investigators are still working on it, and that even after 25 years, they're making some revelations. And I wouldn't be surprised if some of these people start getting arrested. Maybe somebody starts snitching. Maybe the threat of being locked up. You know, and it's despicable. How can you be linked to covering up some 9-year-old's murder? I don't believe that girl's alive anymore. They must have a reason to believe it's homicide and that there's some type of cover-up. All right, so let's continue with the text messages here. Daughter's text, the theory is, "I did it." Wow. 3 search warrants executed by the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office on Thursday, February 13. Authorities seized cell phones from Lizzie Foster, Sarah, and Roy. Before seizing the phones last week, law enforcement got a search warrant for Foster's iCloud account in October 2024. They reviewed several iMessages and included conversations of interest in the February search warrants. The details in the search warrants focus particularly on Foster's conversations with Capel, sister Dedman Ramirez, and Foster's ex-husband. In a message to her sister Capel, sent on September 12, 2024, Foster said she spoke with the family lawyer and said, "The theory is I did it, accident, and covered it up." Here's some text conversations laid out in the search warrants. The texts are written below as provided in the search warrants, including spelling errors. Okay. September 10th, 2024, Capel to Foster, "They think it's our shirt. It's not her shirt. Her mom said it wasn't hers. I don't remember that shirt. I'm scared, though. That is probably going to be a huge suspect. What? Isn't that crazy? Oh, thank you, Don. I appreciate that. September 11th, 2024, Anna Lee Dedman, which her DNA was found, I believe, sister to Foster, sent a text message. Lizzie, you don't need to be talking to anyone. I'm at a lawyer's office now. Dedman to Foster Ramirez, they advise we should all not talk to them. Dedman Ramirez to Foster without representation. September 11th, Foster to ex-husband. This is going to get nothing but worse. Foster to ex-husband. I'm talking to my doctor at 5 to get something for my nerves. You got to pop them pills. Pop them pills. Foster to ex-husband. I'm so worried. So worried. Foster to ex-husband. I mean, it's a nightmare that's going to keep getting worse. I can see nothing good happening anytime soon. And I'm at an optometrist or optimist, whatever that means. Maybe they meant optometrist. Ex-husband of Foster, so he replies, oh, I hate it for y'all. Foster to ex-husband, there's no way this is going to be okay. September 12th, Foster to Keppel. I just talked to David Teddy, family's lawyer. Foster to Capel, the theory is I did it. Foster to Capel, accident, covered it up. Capel replies back to Foster, no. Why would it be you? Foster to Capel, that's what he said. September 12th, 2024, Foster to ex-husband. I feel so horrible. So horrible. I don't know what to do. I caused this. Ex-husband to Foster. No, you didn't. September 12th, Foster to Capel. Hey, is everybody mad at me? Capel to Foster. Nobody is. I guess I meant to say Lizzie. Capel to Foster. This is not your fault. So whose is it? September 29th, 2024, Foster to Capel. I'm just so anxious about what's going on behind the scenes. What are they doing now? What's going on? What's going to happen to me since I wouldn't talk to them? Foster was referencing when she was approached by law enforcement, September 28th, 2024. Foster to Capel. I'm afraid it's going to get worse. Well, he told me it's going to. Capel replies back to Foster. I know, girl. I'm a disaster. I think they come at you again. You just go and be compliant. That's what I'm planning on doing. Foster to Capel. I think so too. Honestly, I mean, I want to do what Dad says, but damn, what did Dad say? Who's the culprit in this? Who did this shit? Capel to Foster, and maybe we should have let you do what you originally wanted to do. Foster to Capel, I don't know. I really don't know. Capel to Foster, right, you don't want something we do or say to impact him. But we also can't be living like this either. I mean, I told him I'm not going to do that. Foster to Capel, right? Or you did. What did he say? Capel replies back to Foster, it's not like worth our mental health. Reply back, right. He was just like, I will call Teddy. We can go get a polygraph with the honest people. Foster to Capel, oh, okay. Capel to Foster, I really just don't have it in me to go through what you have been through. Capel replies back, it's been hell. Just hearing about your situation has made me a disaster. Hearing about it. I'm so sorry. Or I'm sorry. Capel to Foster, I just can't even imagine what you're going through. Foster replies back, but y'all have dealt with other stuff that I haven't. So this is the car we were talking about earlier. Okay, the 1970s green Ford Thunderbird or Lincoln Mark IV. At least one of the older green vehicles was seized. A property belonging to Roy Dedman. This is the father, Roy, in September 2024. So they're making, I'm telling you, this case is from 2000, and now they're making some ground breaking within 2024 and 2025 revelations. This case is cracking. I can't imagine the amount of pills these people are popping to keep themselves together. Okay. Family denies involvement in the case. Investigators think Dedman and his family are in some way connected. I think so too, or responsible for Degree's believed death. But Dedman and his family deny having any knowledge of what happened, according to their lawyer. Attorney for Roy Dedman held a press conference September 13, 2024, amid search warrants being carried out. Let me see if they have that press conference.
Enforcement search that's been underway in Asha Degree to the case 18 in Shelby. We've been bringing you her story ever since. Now, more than 2 decades later, police never gave up on the search. And as this investigation unfolded this week, Asha's family tells us they hope to get some closure after 24 years of not knowing what happened.
Wow.
Today, the Cleveland County Sheriff says no human remains were found at either of the homes that were searched on Cherryville Road. We spoke with Asha's uncle, who says he knew the man who lived in the house at the center of this week's search.
Oh, he knew the man?
I would be shocked because I know that old man for a long time. It would be shocking to know somebody stay next door to you for 24 years and then tell the truth. If it was an accident, it was an accident. Why you didn't turn that in?
Again, we got confirmation that this week's investigation is tied to Asha's disappearance. That came down this morning. Hours later, we're hearing from the attorney who represents the landowner after agents have been crawling around the property all week. Attorney David Teddy said tonight he thinks the search warrant, once it's unsealed, will link a person who is no longer alive to the circumstances of Degree's disappearance. Teddy confirmed the property owner, Roy Dedman, has been questioned by the FBI, but told investigators he knows nothing about what happened to Asha Degree. Teddy says the rumors about his client have to stop.
I'm disturbed as a lawyer and as a citizen of this community about the information that has been spread out there. And I'm concerned not only for my client, Roy Dedman, and for his family, but most importantly, I'm concerned for the Degree family.
Teddy reiterated that what the Cleveland County Sheriff said earlier today, which is that no body was found on the Cherryville Road property. We'll keep asking for details on that search warrant, which as of tonight remains sealed. However, the sheriff did say multiple items of interest were taken to be analyzed this week. WBTV crews caught investigators pulling this 60s or 70s era green vehicle yesterday. While it's unclear why, back in 2016, the FBI said they were looking for a 1970s era green Ford Thunderbird or a Lincoln Mark IV. The vehicle is not an exact match, but does resemble the car they were looking for. Now, this is just the latest in what appears to be a series of puzzle pieces in this ongoing saga. We'll be staying on top of this case, and we'll bring you updates as soon as we learn more.
I really, really hope they figure this out, because the thing is, they reported, supposedly witnesses saw her getting into a green vehicle, and the family has this green vehicle, this old, vehicle. And then they find her backpack with stuff that doesn't even belong to her, but they find her backpack with stuff in there and DNA to this family, the Dedman family, allegedly linking them. And then they have these suspicious text messages, freaking out and worrying and about what's going to happen. Underhill's dead. Oh, okay. So we're talking. And by the way, if you just joined and you missed the story, just rewind back, because I've been like a lot of details. So just rewind back. It's only been 23 minutes. Rewind back and listen. So they're saying don't jump to any conclusions. In 2024, no remains were found during police raids, which they're doing searches today too now. Roy Dedman's attorney alluded to Underhill in his press conference, saying that he may be the one who knows what happened to Degree. The attorney said the search would likely sadly link a person to Degree's disappearance who was no longer alive. So he's like alluding to Underhill, and his DNA was one of the ones that was found, plus one of the daughters, allegedly, who is Underhill. I feel like also Underhill might be a convenient person to just throw under the bus. He's deceased and dead, right? So there's new searches going on today, Friday. The property owner is not connected to the investigation. Authorities conducted a series of searches in 2024. She disappeared in 2000. The search of Asha Degree. Okay, collect that. I think this is what she would look like now. Picture rendition.
Waving hand emoji, smiley face emoji, still here, eyes emoji, purple heart emoji.
GG Love, thank you so much for the 24 months, 2 years. Amazing. Thank you. Police also named members of a local family as suspects. The Dedman family includes Roy, Connie. We talked about the daughters, the 3 teenage girls. All right. Electronic devices were also seized, including text messages. Let's see if I can play this here. This is from today. Let's play this here.
Folks, I'm Evan Donovan. Breaking right now, another search in the Asha Degree case. Right now, deputies from Cleveland County and the FBI are searching a property in Lincoln County. This is happening along Highway 182 near the intersection of Highway 274, about 5 miles north of Cherryville. Channel 9's Ken Lemon is live there now. Ken, I know you've been out there since just after 9 o'clock this morning. Bring us up to speed on what's happening out there right now.
Yeah, Evan, just a few minutes ago, the scene went just a little quiet here. Search crews from the SBI, FBI, Lincoln, and Cleveland County Sheriff's Office all got out here early this morning. You see the scene behind me. They took a short break. They came back for just a minute here in this area. This is to search in and around the old Northbrook School here for evidence, they say, connected to the Asha Degree case. Chopper 9 skies are flying overhead. They can show you this huge search site where the team spent most of the morning actually out here with dogs. Asha's case is the one case that can draw this much law enforcement attention. The 9-year-old vanished just north of Shelby on Valentine's Day 25 years ago. Investigators recently identified suspects, a couple from Shelby. They said they believe Roy and Connie Dedman had a hand in Asha's disappearance and possible homicide. They believe
that's dirty. I really do believe that family knows something. Just based on the text and the DNA evidence, that is dirty as fuck to keep it quiet like that. But I don't know, maybe something happened and like these people are protecting each other. Like if it was your family. I mean, there's been families that turn each other in. You kill somebody, I'm calling the police. But there's other people that protect the family and stuff. You know, they'll keep it, even a murder or death.
Couple helped to conceal her body. Now, the Dedmans used to own this property. Investigators searched the family's phones, some of the family members' phones, and discovered text messages about the case. It isn't clear if those messages led them to search here today. The people who have followed this case, including 2 women from Belmont, drove here hoping investigators find something that brings closure for Asha's family.
We drove out here for her to show you guys support. We love you, we support her, and we hope that this is the day that we have answers.
Now, we know the Dedmans used to own this property and another school not far away from here. We know that investigators searched that school back in September. That school now is a nursing home. This one has been abandoned for some years. In about 30 minutes, we'll hear from some neighbors who talk about some of the dangers in trying to search this area, things that they have seen in this community, part of a story that we'll have coming up for you in the next half hour. For now, we are live in Lincoln County. I'm Ken Lemon, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Ken, you said it, this case, one of the only that can bring out that much law enforcement and bystanders driving from nearby who are just interested in it and have been for quite a while. Ken, thanks for the
crazy. Is this the same video? Let me see.
We're breaking into programming as we get an update on the search for Asha Degree. Channel 9's Ken Lemon has covered this story since the 9-year-old was reported missing 25 years ago. He's live in Lincoln County. And Ken, what's the new developments here?
Yeah, there's a search going on right now. We know that it involves Cleveland County Sheriff's investigators, SBI, the FBI, and it is related to Asha Degree's case. This is Highway 182, and behind me here is an old school that used to be in this area. It's difficult to see, but when I zoom in there, you can see one of the vehicles here on the scene. We know that investigators are back in the woods, and I'm going to turn over for you right back in that area, searching that spot. There's a fire department not far from here where several vehicles are stationed. And I'm going to try to move right in here. If you can barely see there, the orange, we have some of the officers here wearing orange going in and out of this area. I'm going to take you over right back here and I'm going to talk to you about the relevance of this area here very soon. This is one of those old school buildings here. Just a second ago, I saw some of the investigators coming in and out of the front door right here in this area. So they're searching both inside the school buildings itself right here on this campus and into the woods. The significance of this area. So back in September, we learned that officials here, law enforcement officials, believe that the Dedman family may have had some hand in the disappearance and or death of Asha Degree. The significance is that the family owned several rest homes, and they believe that that during the course of transport of their daughter transporting patients from one spot to another, that may have led to the death of Asha Degree back on Valentine's Day 2000. Again, you see one of the vehicles back in the area. I I do know, because we broke the news during that search, that there is another nursing home area here, a nursing home not very far away from here, Northbrook number 3. It's what they call that, the school that the family owned. There was a nursing home there, and we know that they executed warrants back in September in that area. Now they're working this area, and there are several of them. It's difficult to tell when you look at the vehicles here, but right next to us, there are, again, several law enforcement vehicles parked out in the area. I'm going to pull out here just a second and step in front of the camera. Several law enforcement vehicles parked in the area. It looks like they're going to be here for a while. Now, the last time we saw such a big presence from law enforcement out during the search was back in September, and that was at the Deadman's home in Shelby. At that point, they were working feverishly going through that. They were there for about 2.5 days before they drove away with a vehicle that they thought may have been connected, and very much looks like a vehicle that may have been connected to the disappearance of Asha Degree, a vehicle that looks similar to the vehicle for which witnesses said that they saw Asha Degree get into that vehicle, or Asha Degree assisted into that vehicle. Again, we're still out here on the scene watching as things go. Right across here, this is Highway 274 and 182. The intersection sits right there, a fire department right over there, and there's several Cleveland County Sheriff's deputies vehicles and other law enforcement vehicles there. They look like they're going to be here for a while, Damani.
Well, Ken, if you can, Chopper 9 Sky Zoom is actually headed to the scene right now so we can get a better view of the scene there from above. But can you just give us a little bit of describe the area for us? Is it more residential, very rural there? Can you just describe that area on where investigators are looking a little bit more?
Damani, it is, if you can imagine, a rural residential community. So I'm standing right now in a yard. There's a home here, and then probably about 50, 60 yards away, there is another home there. And it's about what you generally expect. Homes here, homes there, sometimes a patch of woods in between each and every one of the homes here. And because you had a school here, unlike the other areas, this one's a little bit more guarded, a little bit more off. And this home, this school, you can see here, has a lot of age on it. It has been abandoned for a long time. You can see here the windows that are out and have been out for quite some time. So when you talk about getting in and searching not only an area this vast with so many trees and so much overgrowth here, but going into a building like this, you're probably dealing with not only a place that has been abandoned for a long time and probably weathered from a lot of the elements that are getting in and through that area, but some people who may have come in and out of something like this for one reason or another. We can readily see here, I'm going to count real quickly, one building right here and a second building right over there in this area that we know that they are focused in. And I saw a search dog actually go out with the crew just a few minutes before we got on the air that went back into the woods. So they are getting some assistance other than just the naked eye to try to find anything that may be out here that may be difficult for them to latch on to. But again, Damani, the trick here is that this is a rural community, which means there's a lot of undergrowth, there's a lot of area here, and if a lot of people haven't been passing through this area, then some of what they come up on could have been things that have been here for a very long time, Damani.
Obviously, we will continue to stay on top of this story as the...
Okay. So really crazy situation. I'm glad there's some breaking developments with this story. Really sad, this missing 9-year-old girl. And it's crazy that this family, seems like to me, they're withholding information. Let me see here too.
Right now, another search can to set to speed on what's happening.
Went just connect mentioned some of the family members' phones and discovered text messages about the case. It isn't clear if those messages led them to search here today. The people who have followed this case, including 2 women from Belmont, drove here hoping investigators find something that brings closure for Asha's family.
We drove out here.
Oh, you live 5 minutes from there, D. Crane? I live 5 minutes from there. The school has been abandoned for decades.
Here for her to show you guys support. We love you, we support her, and we hope that this is the day that we have answers.
Now, we know the Deadmans used to own this property and another school not far away from here. We know that investigators...
Yeah, they got money in the family, owning multiple properties. Scrambling text messages, worried, concerned. Wow. I think we'll definitely touch up on this story. When was this video from? Okay, 2024. I think we'll definitely follow up on the story and keep an eye for Asha
Searched that school back in September. That school now is a nursing home. This one has been abandoned for some years. In about 30 minutes, we'll hear from some neighbors who talk about some of the dangers in trying to search this area, things that they have seen in this community, part of a story that we'll have coming up for you in the next half hour. For now, we are live in Lincoln County. I'm Ken Lemon, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Okay. All right. So I just wanted to bring that story to the attention. This one's kind of just another spot that just looks kind of crazy. Let me see.
We do know that, again, she went missing back in February 14th on Valentine's Day back in 2000, over 25 years ago. Really a big cold case in this area. Not much new information over the last couple of years, over the last 2 decades. But
2 decades,
recently, starting September of 2024, search warrants did provide some information. Now, back out here today, we did know that the SBI confirming that both the SBI, FBI, and also the Lincoln County Sheriffs and Cleveland County Sheriffs were out here performing a search on this property. We're looking at this one right here specifically. This used to be a school, as you can see, closed down and shut down, but records show that one of the previous owners of this building was Roy Dedman. If you remember this name is very prevalent in this case. Now, back in September of 2024, these warrants, over 100 pages, detailed some new information about who could be in connection to this missing girl, and Roy and Connie Dedman were 2 names. Now, we do know that a car that was maybe in connection to this was also was found, and it had also some DNA.
I mean, these locations just look like creepy and abandoned, and like, yeah, what happened here?
Of Asha as well. This all leading back to different properties and searches that the Dedmans may have owned. Now, this is one of the newer properties that we are confirming that that has also been owned by Roy Dedman. Now, since then, we do know that Connie Dedman, his wife, is dead at this point, but also a different individual has also been named. This is Mr. Russell Underhill, and he stayed at one of the properties that Connie and Roy owned. It was an assisted living and care facility. Now, this is the new information we're going through right here. We do know exactly, we're not sure why they're searching this property in specific. We do know, again, that it is related to Roy Dedman. He was an owner at this point. He does not own it anymore, but the current owner, according to a press release by the sheriffs today, say that they gave them the green light to go ahead and search this. So it's connected somehow, but for now, there's a lot of unanswered questions.
Okay. I did a poll, by the way. The Streamlabs poll, the game that's like rolling the dice and all that stuff. Do you guys like it? Do you not? Sometimes people hate it. Sometimes people love it. And by the way, you can block it. You can block the Streamlabs as well. So if you don't want to see that stuff popping up, you can block it. And as I'm not surprised, actually, so 63%, 4% say get rid of it, but we only have 80 votes. So if you're just listening casually and you want to make a vote, go ahead and make a vote. Tornado said there was only one little pussycat crying about it. Yeah, I don't. It's not something that I really see people often really bothered by. Once in a while, but I don't know. And so far the vote's been changing. Still not many votes, but 64% say yes. All because of one dude I've never seen before. That is true though. The people that I never really see around, they're the ones complaining about that stuff. But I was just kind of curious. Make a little vote and see. Just kind of curious to get a feel. But anyway, yeah, the Asha story, I wanted to put it out there, and we're gonna keep an eye on it. And I really, really hope that they find her body. So she's probably deceased after all this time. I really hope they find her body. And even if they don't, I hope they start making some arrests on these people. Anybody that's involved, or even people withholding information about her demise and what happened, because that's really, really sick. That's really sick. All right, so I still have another notification for the channel, so I'm gonna save that because it's Friday, and something could pop off. Who knows what can pop off? It's still early. It's Friday. People get crazy on Friday. People turn up on Fridays. It's still very early. I am going to. I have to do a few things. Got to drop off the baby, but I am gonna make a gaming channel, so I don't have to do that on here, and I don't even want to do it on CC tonight. I will be on CC, probably gaming a little bit, but I want to make a separate thing for that, because there's like a small audience that like that. So I want to make a separate thing for that, for the people that like that. But I have to wait 24 hours before I can even stream there, apparently. So I won't be able to do that till tomorrow afternoon. So tonight I'll be on CC for that. Let me see. And tomorrow I should have the gaming thing set up. All right. You just block it, yeah. Connie is alive, to my knowledge. The only person that died in this whole story is Underhill. Let me see, Underhill. Who is Underhill? Russell Bradley Underhill was a resident of assisted living facilities operated by Roy and Connie around the time that Asha disappearance in 2000. He listed Roy Deadman as his emergency contact during his stay. So they must know each other. There has to be some kind of type of connection there, because Underhill's DNA and one of Roy's daughter's DNA was on that backpack. In 2004, Underhill was found deceased in his Lincoln Town apartment. The cause of death was undetermined. Undetermined cause of death. Interesting. But no evidence of homicide was found. In 2024, DNA analysis linked Underhill to items found in Ash's backpack, which had been discovered in 2001. The connection made him a person of interest. Interesting. They know something. That family knows something. All right, guys. So I will catch you later. Okay. For the in case you don't know, Ikid CC, you can check me out there too. Ikid CC. I'll be on there later for hanging out. But I'm gonna hold on to the one notification I have for now in case something breaking happens tonight. It's still early. All right. I'll check you guys later. Bye.